Servus people of the internet, my name is Baeretoeter. I'm here with Eoduin.
Hello.
With BloodLad.
Hello.
Hedison.
Hello everyone.
And Sheepwielder again.
Ahoy.
No Mare this time. I'm disappointed.
Sorry. What? You were disappointed last time I did it.
No, I said I was not surprised, not disappointed.
I thought that was a disappointed, not surprised, because
no.
unless you're being
more like.
Look at that! It's a llama. Kill it with fire.
You really want to start like that?
Yeah, why
It
not?
was a joke.
That after my last post, I'm disappointed. No, that now I'm disappointed.
I thought we were here just a surprise.
No, we're here just to surprise the enemy. And we are also here to talk about today's live stream. Well, I said today, it was like 1 hour ago. So the memories are still fresh. Why is this so important? Because we were actually invited and playing with Drognin in this live stream. So Eoduin and Hedison were here. So why don't you two guys start explaining what we did and your impressions? Oh, I lost my rotors.
Well, actually, we were all here. It's
Yeah,
just not
we
all
had a
on the
counter-platoon,
same.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not all about you, Baron.
Well, the Drognin platoon is the real place to be. I'm sorry.
Wow. Shots fired.
Have you started?
You know how it always goes to hell if I start talking while trying to play?
Well, then
Are
you
you
need
sure
to
you want me
practice.
to talk?
Yes, obviously.
We all get distracted by your beautiful voice.
We got 2 towers, so
Except it's only you guys
should
that can
be able
hear
to
it, so
hold
that
that.
will be even worse. Oh gosh, I lost my
It's
rotors.
mostly with randoms it's fine talking for me, but when I'm actually playing against good players, then it's a little harder to talk
Oh, we'll see how
play
good
at
they
the
are.
same time.
well, we still got 2 towers, so do I really have to introduce what happened today?
No, we just played a couple of games and talked about the game.
Yes.
With Drognin, he was playing his rail hammer and thus wasn't talking that much because he can't snipe and talk at the same time.
And then he did an infomercial.
And I didn't advertise clans enough.
No. No,
He
you
did
did
also show a video about the new clan system.
Well, more like the whole social system. Which looks kind of interesting still. At least it didn't crash this time when he showed it. So I hope they actually managed to fix all the bugs and are gonna be able to release the unbuggy version, the full version, on the 6th, I think. That is a Tuesday, I think.
Yep, it is.
So yeah, 4 more sweeps.
For what?
4 more
Oh,
sweeps and
yeah.
we will be social. And
By
we
the
can
way,
finally-
is I haven't been up to date lately. How many can we have in the clan?
50
How many
people.
max? Oh god, that's gonna be an issue.
Yeah, well, I just before this released a little announcement about the clan, how we are gonna
Okay.
deal with that, so
Okay.
I can go over that real quick after this game. But let's stick to today's stream for this first round still. I, for my part, am really glad that we were finally officially recognized, so to say, not just for some individual players, but also for the whole clan in the stream, which has been kind of missing a little bit. When it came to clans, there was always like, yeah, Invictus Rex, and then there's nothing else. So I'm glad that we actually got featured first in this live stream.
Good legitimization is true.
Yeah.
This is the first live stream to feature a clan.
I do think so, yes.
Well, for a couple
And
of those
the
battles, we had 10 versus 10, didn't
Exactly. That was the perfect.
Yeah, we had like a full
Yeah.
platoon with developers and Atlas Core, and I think
we?
we
had
had
left a Never who was a handicap, though.
Little bit, yeah. He needs to go take lessons from Czech on how to play Teslas. It's not just suiciding. That doesn't really work when there's players in the game that know what they're doing.
I don't think Teslas work against experienced players anyway, especially
Yeah.
if they're communicating at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I.
Well,
found.
Czech was a good distraction at least. We kind of managed to
one
wipe the rest of the team there without losing anybody.
Yeah, well, I managed to chase him off. I saw him sneaking around, and I chased him off.
No,
And
I'm
he
talking
threw me
about
back.
earlier elimination game.
Yeah, I know. I was the
Oh,
one who...
was that there? Yeah,
he was
maybe.
sneaking around on the Spitzer Dam, and
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
coming. I drove
was
him
a-
off, but then he drew me. I followed
Exactly,
him,
yeah.
so
Everybody turned around, and so we just pushed in and took out everybody, which was kind of interesting. But yeah,
Oh,
we had like Dan in the game. We had like
Oh, that's
3
nice.
developers plus a lot of us, plus a lot of us in the enemy team. So that was also nice. All right, let's talk again in the next game. Alright, we are back, and at the start of this round I'm gonna talk a little bit about the announcement I mentioned earlier. So with the release of official clans, obviously we're gonna have to switch out a few things and adjust our setup and rules. So the first part obviously will be that everybody has to join the Atlas Core in-game clan. We will have a pruning, or basically kicking everybody who is not active anymore at the 1 month after the release. And yeah, that's just something we do from time to time to keep our roster fresh, and we don't have people that are just in the member list but not really playing. So that's gonna be interesting to see how many people we end up with. At the moment we have 82 people, so quite a few of those I think will be left. That also means that we will have to found 2 clans, or more split in 2 clans, but that shouldn't really affect anything. We still have Discord where we can communicate and set up platoons, and so people from both clans should be able to play with each other without problem. We might have to change some things up after the phase 2, because then it comes more with the competitive game, and there it would matter a little bit more which clans you're in. Whoop. I'm in trouble.
I'm on my way.
Can somebody come to our tower real quick? So, any comments about that first part?
Well, it makes sense. I mean, we have to see how many people we do actually end up with
Yeah,
before we
because
start stressing about 2 clans, you know.
Yeah.
Let's make sure there is actually more than 50 players who are actually active and talking and social. And but I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll get a bunch of. I mean, but once the thing's set up, we'll get a big influx, I think, of people. We're already getting a large influx of applicants, so now things are getting serious. So we'll have to see. Feed a clan, yeah.
Yeah,
we're going
I mean,
into
we
one,
already
right?
talked about the 50 people limit, so yeah, that's not really necessary anymore here. The second point is we are currently allowing dual memberships, so you can be in multiple clans if the other clan also allows it. However, we're gonna have to switch that out, since you can only be in one in-game clan. So you will only be able to be in one clan if you decide for Atlas Core. That does not include groups, for example, some forum groups or just some language groups or whatever. Just I can only be clan member in one clan officially. That depends a little bit on what we consider an official clan, but I guess that's gonna be sorted shortly after the release. I'm gonna announce a little bit more clearly.
Well, it really depends if they play competitively or not.
Not only competitive, I mean,
Because it
they
only
can,
matters of the loyalty of competitive.
yeah, that mostly, but also non-competitive clans. It's if it's like a real clan, then we already have non-competitive quite a bit here. So you can, of course, play with everybody, but you can only be member of one clan. I don't think we are limiting anybody here with competitive or not competitive play. And
Okay.
most people are already only in Atlas Core. There's like maybe 5 or 6 that are also in other clans, like Black Knights, for example. But I guess they're just gonna have to decide then, because also Black Knights will only be able to have one in-game clan membership, so to say, with the account. So this applies to all accounts, even if somebody has like 2 or 3 accounts, only the player can be member in one clan. I think I've said these words quite a bit now, so let's move on to the next point. As Sheepwilder mentioned earlier, we're gonna have a lot of new applications probably with the official implementation, just from the fact that we are a huge clan with a lot of members, so people are going to be interested in joining us. And so we decided to implement 2 restrictions. One is age limit of 14, and the second one is a level restriction. What did we put now? Let me check. Level 100. So you can obviously play with us before that, and if you are mature enough, because that's still what we're going for, we just ask you to not apply if you are below 14 or level 100, but you can still play with us on Discord, and if we think that you have good chances, then we can ask you to submit an application anyways. Or if you are hanging out with us and playing a lot, then you should have no problem of getting level 100 pretty quickly.
Yep, and the main thing about being an applicant and applying for Atlas Core is, of course, leaving an impression on us. So,
Of course.
if you're even under level 100 and you're playing with us, even without being an applicant, and you have a positive impression on us, then you're more welcome to join afterwards.
I mean, of course, because I mean, the way we do it now, it's kind of a case-by-case basis, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're obviously gonna stick to that, decide everything with case to case, because every person is different. We can't just have like a tick list or like hard requirements, because sometimes it's just subjective, but that's an important part of our clan. We are a group, we need to work together, we need to be on the same wavelength, so it's still gonna be how mature somebody is subjective, how good is somebody, how willing to learn, especially. That's all things that are still gonna be the same. We just don't want a ton of applications that don't really have a chance of being accepted, and we want to focus on the ones that have a good chance. Alright. Comments?
Not much to say, I agree with it all.
I mean, it all looks pretty good. I mean, we've been waiting for this for such a long time, and yeah, we're pretty well. I don't think there's going to be any huge surprises, but I mean, with every Freejam update, we have to play it by ear, don't we?
Yep. And keep in mind, that's just what we put up now before the real release, so we didn't really have time to experiment with it. This is just educated guesses what we will have to do, and we might have to adjust again, especially like 1 month after.
We're beginning to sound like devs.
Hmm?
We're starting to sound like Drognin.
I'm hanging out
So
too much with him, I guess. But yeah, I mean, as things develop, especially with the second phase, we're gonna have to do adjustments again. And as I mentioned, the pruning 1 month after the release. And then we will see what we end up with. Should be interesting. Alright, let's try to wrap this game up, I guess. And
So, yeah.
start a new topic in a new game. There's only
I have to
like-
go after this one though.
Okay. And GG.
Oh, there we go.
GG's.
For the last match, we lost Eoduin, but we picked up Jiggyhound.
Hello.
And the topic of this last game is gonna be since we now have Jiggyhound, the competitive side of the stream, we ended up with quite a lot of pretty balanced teams on both sides. So we had a lot of Atlas Core and other players, and also a lot of them on the other side that ended up creating quite interesting battles. Obviously we won all of them because
Obviously.
because Drognin is OP.
Never be.
But
Left of
yeah,
never.
it just goes to show that there is a nice side of competitive gameplay that is hopefully interesting to watch. I mean, you can judge by yourself. We are gonna link the recording of the stream, at least in the first, I think 2 weeks it is. You can watch it on the Twitch channel of Freejam. After that, hopefully on the YouTube channel. But at least playing it was a lot of fun.
It was very good. Yeah, like fast-paced sort of team-based gameplay is always good fun, really. I think.
I don't know how good it is to watch with the 8 minutes, 8 minutes before anyone's taken a kill in TDM.
Well, that's the thing. TDM is not so good because it is very campy. Like everyone acknowledges that, but BA is a very dynamic game mode. And
Yeah, sure. BA, definitely.
And that's what we had. We had a really good competitive.
No, I saw
What's your back there?
Oh, there's 2 Tesseracts. Not Tesseracts. Tesla Shurikens. He's somewhere below the bridge here.
Oh, we got a Russian.
What did I want to say? I forgot.
We were talking about competitive sides and that you have a nice showcase.
Oh yeah, at least in TDM you saw how you can play tactical. Sometimes it is kind of boring. I mean, we only got... Oh no, I can't spoil how many kills we got. That would be spoiling.
Warning, spoilers
But
alert.
I already said that we won all of the games, so it goes to show how you can play the game. It might not be the most entertaining thing, but it goes to show that if you want to, you can involve quite a lot of tactics in a game mode that is pretty simple and just kill the enemy team 5 versus 5. What you can get out of that if you try to.
The thing is with TDM is if you want to have like a sort of ideal setup, you're quite limited in your options. Whereas with BA you have a wider range of ways to win the game, which makes it more dynamic. Whereas you're looking at sort of long-ranged weapons in TDM, keeping people at bay and pinned down.
Yeah.
Looking at sort of Mega Laser or Rail.
So yeah, we'll probably see BA in the main place for... Well, I hope that whatever feature they put in the second phase of the clan features will, focus on BA for competitive, whatever they do, clan battles or whatever.
Exactly, yeah, it's a good game mode, it works well.
Oops.
Whereas TDM is perfect at the moment for me and my feed stuff, so...
Yeah, I mean, TDM is just nice.
Can somebody save me? The Tesseract. Shuriken is in front of me.
Oh, sorry, hang on.
Yep.
Cheers.
Yes.
So yeah, I think the stream gave a good example to the people watching what competitive play looks like.
Sure, and what to expect, definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty standard, like long, kind of tactical TDM matches with a lot of energy management is one of the main aspects of TDM. Like, you have to really coordinate quite well in that game.
That's true, yeah. Because you can never quite finish somebody off, can you?
Whereas BA is much more about sort of map awareness and positioning, I guess, are the 2 main factors you have to take into account.
And tower control.
Oh yeah, you got to time it taking of your towers, haven't you?
Yeah, simple things like, in the late game, don't take a tower you can't defend because you'll just end up with a square one quickly.
Yeah, or simple things that like map control actually mattering because you're actually defending your base or a tower. It's because in TDM, if you hold a part of the map, that's not really important.
Did you see the little comic strip on Twitter today from Robocraft HQ?
I opened it, but I didn't look at it.
Oh, it was
You
quite a
just
nice little
reminded
comic.
me.
Yeah, a nice little comic about people getting distracted and not taking talent and regenerating the whole team.
Oh yeah, Kokuma's a comic.
Yeah, Kokuma's comics are always very nice to look at. Not saying I agree with every single one, but it definitely
Well, they
always
capture a mood.
it always takes something that is an important topic for the community at that time.
I think the thing that I think is maybe missing a bit of competitive stuff now is weapon balancing issues. You know, I think if you want to have a truly competitive game, you really need to have weapon skill scale with difficulty of use.
Yeah.
For instance, you know, Lommel applies a lot of damage over a long distance very easily without much effort in aiming.
But it's quite deliberate though.
People typically complain about it. You know, you can hit
Yeah.
past.
I feel like we're gonna have a discussion episode soon about normal
How to
balance.
respond to Lommel.
Yeah, I mean that's just like from a competitive standpoint.
But they're intended. It seems to me they're quite deliberate.
Whereas on the other hand, you've got weapons like plasma, which, although at the moment it's not so much the case, you have to judge, you know, an arc of flight to make it hit your target. So there's a high skill cap for that weapon type, and its effectiveness should kind of be up there because to use it well, you have to.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. But Drognin did say, I mean, we can talk about the things maybe that Drognin was talking about after the stream with us in the channel, and he was saying that maybe they will actually take a look at Megaplasma and try and nerf it.
Yeah, Megaplasma's.
I mean, they're always taking a look at a lot of weapons.
But actually, I mean, we remember the days Baron went yeah, for a good year, I think it was 2015. You know, Megaplasma was unusable since it was launched.
Yep, definitely.
It just increased its skill level. I think, you know, it can make the arc a lot sort of deeper, so you have to judge much more.
And proper artillery piece.
I was thinking maybe reducing the kind of what's it called?
Radius.
Yeah, the blast radius.
Yeah, because now you kind of can hit hovers that are hovering at maximum height, which is a huge advantage compared to the normal plasma.
Yeah, but then again, you have to balance it with the huge CPU and the weight.
Exactly, yeah, that's like the discussion I had with War Mechanic last week. It's not that easy, because you have like a ton of different factors that you have to balance with a lot of other factors, and if you, for example, just simply increase rail damage, then that's automatically gonna have a huge impact in huge weapons that are easy to hit, and so on. It's not very easy.
Because
Yeah,
if you
definitely.
nerf Megaplasma, then you have to think about, like, isn't the second largest just going to be better then? Especially since you can have the redundancy.
It comes into sort of build complexity as well. Like, something should be difficult to build around if it's good to use, so it requires you to be a better builder to use it effectively.
Yeah, that's the thing
Yeah,
with
like
Lommel.
that scaling of skill level in the game.
Yeah, Lommel is actually quite relatively small, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Just stick it on the back of something and let it shoot around. That's it.
Exactly.
And GG.
Yeah, Lommel had the same hits box.
Like I said, Lommel next time.
Sorry.
Alright, thanks everybody for watching.
No worries.
Yeah, like I said, I recommend you also watch the stream recording, and we're gonna meet
Judge
in the
for
next
yourself.
episode. Let's
Bye.
say bye on 3, 2, 1.
Bye.
Bye.
Preemptive by there.